Why the Dallas Cowboys will win the Super Bowl in 2019. Make sure to stay tuned to find out why. What's up, everybody? It's JT Sports and back to you guys with another video. This video I'm continuing my series talking about why all 32 NFL teams will win the Super Bowl in 2019. Before I begin, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Upload NFL videos and NFL content daily. And the Dallas Cowboys. So the Dallas Cowboys, in my opinion, are one of the most talented teams in all of football. Top 5 talent-wise, they're loaded at nearly every position. A big thing that we have to take into account is Ezekiel Elliott. Is he going to play this season? Is he going to hold out until he gets a new contract? There's a lot of factors and things factoring into that. So it's going to be really interesting, but let's just be hypothetical terms. So whenever Ezekiel Elliott comes back, that's going to be a big boost for the Dallas Cowboys if Ezekiel Elliott ends up coming back this season, because he is, in my opinion, their best player on the offense side of the ball. And we've seen how different this offense looks when Ezekiel Elliott isn't playing. When Ezekiel Elliott isn't playing, Dak Prescott looks like a way entirely different quarterback. And when Ezekiel Elliott is playing, Dak Prescott looks like a better quarterback when Ezekiel Elliott is behind him in that backfield. And then we also got to look at Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott, he's not a bad quarterback. He's a pretty solid quarterback. He's like a top 15, top 14 quarterback. He's good enough to win you a Super Bowl, and he has a lot of talent around him. I mean, Dak Prescott, he's solid. He doesn't really make a lot of mistakes. He's pretty accurate, and he's also mobile as well, and he's very tough, makes a lot of tough plays and things like that. He also is a big leader and a great leader in that locker room. So that's a lot of things that Dak Prescott has going for him. He also has a very talented team. The wide receiving core is very talented. You got Michael Gallup. Michael Gallup, in my opinion, was the best receiver that the Dallas Cowboys had until they ended up trading for Amari Cooper nearing the mid-season. So up until that point, before they got Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup was their best wide receiver, and he was only a rookie. So imagine what he's going to be able to do going in a year or two. I think Michael Gallup is going to be in for a big year in 2019, because this dude was absolutely sensational. I was telling a lot of people about him last year when he was going into the 2018 draft out of Colorado State. This dude had 200 yards receiving against Alabama. That's saying something. So I knew this dude was going to be something special when I first saw that game, and he has lived up to all my expectations, and I think he's going to end up having a big year in 2019 for this Dallas Cowboys team. Then we also got to talk about Cedric Wilson. He should have a little bit of a role this year. Then we got to talk about Amari Cooper. It seems like the Dallas Cowboys, when they traded for Amari Cooper, they rejuvenated his career. When he was playing for the Oakland Raiders, he was kind of an afterthought. He was always a guy who at least once or twice a season would have like a big game where he goes for like 200 yards, and then we won't hear nothing from him again. But he went to the Dallas Cowboys, and he solidified himself as one of the better receivers in the NFL. So it's going to be interesting to see if they end up getting a contract extension worked out for Amari Cooper. But he definitely adds to the talent on this Dallas Cowboys offense, and this wide receiving core is very, very talented. Then you also got Randall Cobb. Now, Randall Cobb isn't a flashy wide receiver by any means. He's not elite or anything like that, but he's solid. He's good enough to get the job done. During his time with Green Bay, he hasn't really been what a lot of people thought he would be. He's pretty solid, but a lot of people pretty much had a lot of higher expectations for Randall Cobb. But going to the Dallas Cowboys, he's going to be with Michael Gallup and Amari Cooper there, and he, in my opinion, I think he probably will end up playing that slot receiver position, if I'm not mistaken. So he should be able to be pretty productive. I think he should be able to have about 600, 700 receiving yards, and I think he's an upgrade from Cole Beasley. Although Cole Beasley, you have the added security with how good his hands is, but I think he's an upgrade over Cole Beasley, just because I think he's a better player than Cole Beasley if he's able to get consistent when it comes to catching the ball and things like that. that. So this receiving core is really, really talented. You also got Tavon Dawson as well. He probably won't really have that much of an impact in the receiving game, but he's a very solid returner on special teams. Then we got to talk about the offensive line. So the offensive line is one of the best offensive lines in all of football. Got left tackle Tyron Smith, one of the best offensive tackles in the NFL. You got left guard Connor Williams. Now Connor Williams struggled last season, so it's going to be interesting seeing what position he plays with the Dallas Cowboys this year. I've been reading a whole lot of things about him getting switched positions or something like that. Don't really know a lot of details about that, but I think Connor Williams should be able to improve from his rookie season, which was okay, but he did struggle a lot in his rookie year. So going into year 2, he should be a lot better than what he was in 2018. Then they also get the starting center, Travis Frederick, back, and this is a very, very big win for the Dallas Cowboys because the offensive line wasn't that bad last season. It was actually pretty good, but with Travis Frederick back, this offensive line is going to end up becoming the best offensive line in football again, because I think the center position is one of the most underrated positions in all of football. You're not going to have a good offensive line if you don't have a good center. And when you look at teams like the Philadelphia Eagles, they got Jason Kelce. He's one of the best centers in the NFL. You look at the LA Chargers and the Pittsburgh Steelers, they got one of the best offensive lines in the NFL, with both of the Pouncey twins being their starting centers there. So you start to see the trend there. So if you have a good center, you're most likely going to end up having a very solid offensive line. So with Travis Frederick back, he's going to end up elevating this Dallas Cowboys offensive line, and it's going to be a very big bonus and a very big boost for this Dallas Cowboys offense. And a lot of people fail to realize that center position is also basically like the quarterback of that offensive line. If you have a good center, the chemistry is going to be down and things like that. So it's very big to have a very good center in the NFL, especially a guy like Travis Frederick. Then you got right guard Zach Martin. He's pretty good as well. We already know he's one of the best offensive guards in the NFL. And right tackle La'el Collins, he's pretty good at that right tackle position as well. Then on the defense side of the ball, on the defense, specifically the defensive line, the Dallas Cowboys have one of the best, if not the best, defensive line in all of football. That's a heated argument between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys, both competing to see who has the best defensive line in all of football. I think it's the Dallas Cowboys. When you look at the guys who they have at defensive end, you got DeMarcus Lawrence, you got Robert Quinn, who they got in the trade with the Miami Dolphins. He was a guy who I believe had 6.5 sacks. Although he's up there in age, he's still able to be pretty productive. And with a guy like DeMarcus Lawrence on the opposite side of him, that's going to give him a lot more opportunities to get after the passer as well. So I think Robert Quinn could end up having 8.5 sacks this year, and he could end up making the Pro Bowl. And I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up having more than 8.5 sacks. Then you also got at that defensive tackle position, you got a lot of depth there. You got Malik Collins, you got Tyrone Crawford, you got Tristan Hill, who they drafted in this year's NFL draft out of UCF. He's a guy who's very good at stopping the run. He's not going to give you a lot of things when it comes to rushing the passer, but he's a very big body and he's very good stopping the run. It has a very high motor. Then you got Antoine Woods there as well. So at that defensive line, they're very deep there. They can rotate in guys. They can do a lot of things on that defensive line, and that's a very big part of football. If you're very good up front, then you're going to end up going to the playoffs if you're able to win games up front. That also opens up and makes it easier on your cornerbacks and things like that, because they don't have to cover for as long in coverage if the defensive line is getting after the passer and only giving the quarterback like 3 seconds to throw the ball. So that helps the cornerbacks as well. So having a good defensive line helps out the whole entire defense. Then we got to talk about the linebacking core. I think the Dallas Cowboys have one of the best linebacker units in all of the NFL. You got Jalen Smith, who is starting to emerge as an elite linebacker. You got Leighton Vander Esch, who is already considered an elite linebacker, had a very phenomenal rookie year where he's able to do stop the run, what he's able to do in coverage. This is a guy who can do it all. Also a very good tackler as well. You're not going to break a lot of tackles when Leighton Vander Esch gets his hands on you. Then you also got Sean Lee. Sean Lee is a good veteran presence. He's still a very solid linebacker as well. So this Dallas Cowboys linebacker unit is very, very good. One of the best linebacker units in all of the NFL. Then we got to look back at the secondary. Cornerback Byron Jones. A lot of people think that Byron Jones is almost about the top 10, in that top 10 cornerback range. I don't necessarily think he's a top 10 quarterback yet, or cornerback yet, but I still think he's nearing that. I think this season I need to see a little bit more out of Byron Jones this year before I consider him a top 10 cornerback, but I do believe he will end up becoming the top 10 cornerback this season. This guy is freaky athletic. What this guy is able to do when it comes to athleticism, his athleticism is off the freaking charts. Then you got Chidobe Awuzie. He's pretty good as well. Then at the back end of that secondary, you got safety Xavier Woods had a very solid 2018 season as well. This dude had a very good season in 2018, and I think in 2019 he's going to end up being a breakout player on this Dallas Cowboys defense. And I don't think a lot of people are really giving him a lot of attention this offseason. But I think he's going to end up being a guy who ends up having a big season and a breakout season for the Dallas Cowboys. You also got Jeff Heath there as well. So those are my reasons why the Dallas Cowboys will win the Super Bowl this year. They're deep up front. They have a lot of talent up there on the offensive side of the ball and on the defensive line as well. They also have one of the best linebacking corps in all the NFL. Then when you look at the talent that they have on the offensive side of the ball, if Ezekiel Elliott plays, this team is most definitely going to end up winning the Super Bowl. And these are my reasons why I think the Dallas Cowboys will win the Super Bowl in 2019. So let me know what you guys think about this video down in the comment section down below. Make sure to like the video, comment, and make sure to subscribe to the channel for more NFL videos and content. And also make sure to check out these other videos as well. And thanks for watching.